Okay.
All right.
Hello. Welcome to the Anything Bowl Where Anything Goes. My name's Miguel.
My name's Timmi.
And welcome, folks, to episode number 1, where today we're talking about a bunch of different stuff. Time codes are down and below, but Timmy, what is the big movie subject topic that we're talking about this week?
Venom.
Venom. Which one?
3.
Do you remember the name?
No.
Because it's a bad movie. We're talking about Venom: The Last Dance, as well as the. Can you call it a franchise? The rest of the Venom.
I think so.
Trilogy, the SPUM.
Yeah.
Sony Pictures universe of Marvel movies that are all Spider-Man villains, but have nothing to do with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think. Trilogy.
Trilogy.
Why would it not be?
Because we'll get into it.
Okay.
All right. So, Timmy.
Okay.
What do you think the budget was of Venom: The Last Dance?
The last of the one we just watched.
Mm-hmm. Of the newest one.
The newest
Even
one.
though yesterday we watched The Last Dance, and then today we watched the first 2.
I don't know. There's a lot of CGI.
There is. The big
Tom
monster.
Hardy's pretty big.
What?
Like he's pretty big. Like he's a big actor.
Oh, in terms of his payday.
Yeah,
I thought
like
you
in
meant
terms of
just
his pay.
I have to use CG to make him look bigger.
Yeah, huge man. Okay, I want to say it's gonna be like something. It's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna be like 7. Is it like hundreds of millions?
Hey, I'll give it away.
Is it hundreds? Just tell me. Is it hundreds?
Multiple? No.
Is it okay? So it's like
Under 200.
okay. So it's like 150 million.
$110 million.
Really?
Which is crazy because one of the things I said was you could feel like a budget constraint
yeah.
in it, right? Where we were talking like, it feels like Venom CG looks really crappy in the beginning. But then later on when everybody shows up, you're like, oh my God, that's where the whole budget is. The budget for this one is the exact same as the last 2. I would have thought that based on the way that the movie looked, it was half. But no, it's $110 million. Opening weekend looking to hit just around 200 million, about 175 internationally. Domestically, it's about 51.
Did you think you thought the movie looked bad?
I thought the first chunk of CG looked iffy. I think. So first, do we want to talk about the CG, or do you want to give your overall thoughts on the movie? Because the more that I talk about the CG, I'm going to get into the problems and the reasons why I hate this movie.
I feel like they're intertwined, so talk about whichever one you'd like.
Okay. Well, I think I hate this movie, right? I think that it definitely feels like something just for the sake of doing it, like not necessarily with a story or objective in mind. It's just like shit's happening. Okay. And it definitely feels like they weren't thinking about where to go with it in the first half. First half is a lot of just Tom Hardy kind of running around. He's talking to Venom, but it really means he's talking to himself. There's not a whole lot going on.
Love that.
And then he'll do the thing where like Venom shows up, but like Venom's not doing anything, right? They go into this thing and it's like, oh, look, we're these gangsters and there's dogs here. And he's like, you got to set the dogs free. So then Venom shows up, but then the dogs get free and it's dogs beating up people for a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. And then they go back to Venom and he's like, oh my God, I need to go away. And then it's Tom Hardy again. He's like, look, my third pair of shoes in the movie. Very strange, weird thing to have constantly happening with people giving him shoes. And then Venom goes away again. Then he's walking down the street. And then there's a big CGI monster and they go, oh, okay, all the budget. Throw it at that. And then Venom disappears for a while. He's like in a car. He's talking to a family and he's singing Ground Control to Major Tom or whatever that song's name is that I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then it's like Venom like doesn't show up until there's an ABBA dance scene. And then there's just a big CGI monster fight for about a half hour. I feel like the CG wasn't really great or super present in the beginning. And it just like it felt like, at least in terms of CG, there was no real direction. It was just that at one point they were like, all right, Venom's here to stay, and here's a bunch of different symbiotes, and they all have to look a little different, but they keep dying. Here's a big CGI monster.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. In the beginning, that entire opening scene is like, it looks like a cutscene from like GTA.
Oh, yeah.
It's so I feel like that's, a lot of CG. But then I don't know, I feel like it's not a great movie. Like when you think of like a great movie with a lot of like wonderful plot and dialogue and like it's just okay. Like it just kind of accomplishes whatever little task it wanted to. it's fun, but I didn't leave with like a new like feeling,
Newfound love for
Venom or Tom Hardy.
Yeah, it's
a movie.
one of the not cliches, but one of the common threads in all these Sony spun movies that has been coming out is that they all kind of feel like a movie from 2002. Where they're like, it's a superhero movie, but like we don't know how to make superhero movies yet. We're just kind of like we're just doing stuff.
I feel like you shouldn't shit on 2002 superhero movies.
No, I'm not shitting on those. I'm saying it's also right. When you talk about 2002 superhero movies, you're talking about Spider-Man and you're maybe Blade.
Tobey Maguire.
Yes, Tobey Maguire. Yes.
Yeah.
But those are the outliers. There's hundreds of other superhero movies. Like, you ever watch what is it, Steel?
No.
With Shaquille O'Neal? That's
Definitely
a superhero
not.
movie from the 2000s. What about
no recollection.
the 4 or 5 different Punisher movies?
Oh, with the guy from The Walking Dead? What's his name?
No, John Bernthal?
That's his name? The guy from The Walking Dead?
Yes.
The one with the weird nose?
Yes. He's
What's
not
his
in any
last
of those
name?
movies. Bernthal? What are you laughing at?
Bernthal. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Continue.
No, but there's a lot of superhero movies from the early 2000s that just feel like they have no direction. They're just doing stuff to do it.
Yes.
Like universe rules and continuity, and none of those things really matter. You know, it's the same way that you look at like the X-Men movies and you're like, all right, so there's like 20 of these things, but none of them really connect to each other and they don't really care. It doesn't really matter. They're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I get from all of these, and especially from the Venom movies. It just feels like they're just doing stuff for the sake of doing. Like, oh, Venom's gonna say fuck, and then he bites off a guy's head, and then he's telling Tom Hardy, Tom Hardy, you're making me upset. Look, there's a dude pissing in Las Vegas. Now we're gonna take his clothes. ABBA dance. Like it feels like a bunch of like, feels like they got a timeline on paper.
Yeah.
And they put a bunch of plot points down or a bunch of little things. They're like, oh yeah, they should have a dance scene and they should do this. And then they were just going through the checklist instead of being like, all right, how does the story progress to get to different points?
I feel like we may be reviewing it from the wrong perspective.
What do you mean?
I feel like the movie is not made for somebody who cares about plot and how we're getting from place to place. And it's not made for somebody who really is like a whore for good dialogue. And it's not made, you know what I mean? I feel like it's truthfully, it's made for like a high school kid who just wants to watch, like, I don't feel like it's made for the superhero buffs, you know what I mean? Who like really want to watch like a good superhero movie with like a good plot.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those movies that you take a date to, because you're not actually watching the movie. It's just background noise.
What are you guys doing?
What?
What are you doing? What are you doing inside?
In the movies?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh.
It's a little dark. Don't worry about it.
I can't see. I have cataracts, actually. I'm not watching the movie at all.
So, no, what other parts did I not care about in this movie? I just didn't enjoy it. The best part? The horse.
I liked when it ended and
and Null shows up and he looks like he's from a PlayStation 2 cutscene.
No, the credits.
Oh, the credits?
Yeah.
When we got to leave?
Yeah. No, I'm playing.
No, I think I really... the horse was great.
The horse? Yeah, the horse was pretty cool.
I think the best part of this entire movie to me was Venom walking up to the horse and going, "Horsey!
Horsey!"
Yeah. Tessa.
I can't even stop it from
I know, there's nothing we can do. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I liked when he went up to the horse and he was like, "Horsey." Yes. I also really liked, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I also really liked the like Null part where was that what he's called? Null?
Null? Yeah. KNULL.
It's pretty badass.
I know, right? And he looks fucking cool.
He does look cool.
And it's really funny that they did the thing again where they put all of his scenes in the trailer. Trying to be like, look, we're teasing this villain.
I didn't see a trailer.
That explains a lot.
All right, continue.
It's a bad movie. No, the reason that you go to watch these Venom movies is because Tom Hardy talking to himself is funny as fuck, right? Yes. It's because Tom Hardy does the voice of Venom as well. So whenever he's like, you didn't know that. Sorry.
Serious?
Yes, he does. He's literally talking to himself.
Oh. Like
figuratively and literally.
Okay.
So The banter between them is the best part.
Yes.
The story beats have never been phenomenal. But even that, I feel like is lacking.
The banter?
Yeah.
I feel like it was there. It was present, but it was like
Kind of like they forgot how to do it or write the banter, and then they were trying to do it. But in trying to do it, it doesn't feel like they're doing it.
No, like just watching the last, like the what was it? The second one?
Let There Be Carnage.
Where he's like, I am Venom, right? And then in the third one, he's like, he goes like, we are Venom in the second one, right?
Yeah.
And then in the third one, he's trying to do the same thing again. But for some reason, he's like forgotten how to do it. And it's like this, like, but it's like a shitty Marvel joke.
Yes. But I like that's the one joke that I liked.
But it was like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense as to why
they would forget it. Especially when you realize
forget it.
These movies have come out over the span of 6 years, but in the universe, they even tell you it's been 1 year.
Yeah.
So like,
it's 2 months ago.
They like murdered Carnage a couple weeks ago at this point.
Yeah. It's like,
he ate him, literally.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's a fine movie. It's not the best movie.
One of those movies I probably won't ever watch again unless they decide to make a fourth one.
I mean, also I thought it was pretty funny how he kept losing his shoes.
Such a weird joke. I kind of got brought back to like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yes,
where there's so much focus on feet, but it's like, you had these Crocs. And then he eats the Crocs, or the dog like rips the Crocs, and then they give him these cowboy boots, and then the cowboy boots come off, and then he meets his family, and the family has to make a joke about the fact he's walking around barefoot, and then as he's leaving the family, they give him another pair of shoes,
and then they put his toes in their mouth, and they like,
and then after that, he steals some guy's shoes. Some guy is pissing in public, and he takes his clothes, he takes his shoes, and makes sure to mention something about how he's going to keep the shoes. Then they get abducted by the U.S. government. And the last thing he says is, "Oh no, my shoes."
Yeah.
I don't fucking understand why.
And then the guy puts his feet and his toes in his mouth.
Yes,
and
so
he's
he
like,
puts his toes.
And that's something that happens in that movie. It's a real scene.
And that is something that happens in the movie. Could you imagine telling someone in like the 90s, be like, yeah, so first of all, there's a trilogy of Venom movies, but Spider-Man's not in them. And in the last one, Venom's toes get sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all Tom Hardy's idea. He had to have that in there.
His cauliflower ear.
Yeah, that was really, I was kind of, I couldn't let that go. Because it's, what ear is it? It's his, I'm looking at him, it's his right ear, but it's his left ear. It's totally
fucked up.
It's totally fucked up.
Fucked up ear.
It's a fucked up ear. It just means that poor guy has not been wearing headgear in his day-to-day.
No. In his day-to-day activities of touching people's feet and changing his shoes.
Sure.
So, well, let's talk about the trilogy as a whole, right? I used to be firmly in the idea that second one was like an unwatchable movie. It's clearly the best one. Like, we just rewatched it, and Let There Be Carnage is clearly the best one out of this like Sony run of whatever movies, because the banter is so perfect.
And the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Carnage looks fucking cool.
Carnage just looks cool. And actually, I'm gonna disagree.
Really?
He looks cool. He also kind of looks like, Inside Out. Not like the Disney movie, but like,
no,
he looks like, I don't know, like his arms just look like organs. Like, not, but like,
because he kind of looks like blood.
Yeah.
That's the point.
It's disgusting.
Because he's like Venom with blood.
It's just gross.
It's meant to make you feel uneasy. Kind of like a horror villain. What? You say it did. It did. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
No, I really like Let There Be Carnage. I remember watching it in theaters and just thinking it was this unwatchable movie that made no sense. And now looking back, it's like, yeah, the haircut that Cletus has really does look like he would fit the vibe of a school shooter, but
God, okay.
But I think Carnage looks super cool. Tom Hardy really has this really nice dynamic with himself.
Yeah.
The fact that they like build upon the story in the first one, and like Annie's there, and Mrs. Chen and all these things to make it feel like it's really a sequel.
Yeah.
Versus where in the third one you have like none of the characters return. It's all these new characters. It's all these new story beats except for Mrs. Chen showing up.
Yeah.
And the villain from the last one. But then the villain or the detective from the second one shows up, but he's not really there because he just turns into a green symbiote monster thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it just... The Last Dance
so
feels like... Yeah. The Last Dance feels like it's a... It's a trilogy capper just because they had to do it. Like, it felt like Tom Hardy was like, all right, I'm contractually obligated after the first one to make 2 more. So we're going to make it at some point. So now the third one, like the story feels like it doesn't connect. It's random. There's a MacGuffin. It's not built upon from the last one.
No.
It's just kind of, it's like, oh, it happened. Oh, Venom here has this whole send off. Statue of Liberty. That's it for me and the big guy.
You know what? I would say that the other 2 movies, even the first one, I mean, it wasn't phenomenal.
No.
But it was okay. I lived. The second,
I did make it through.
I did make it through. The second one, it's giving like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Almost. It's like, I feel like it's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man adjacent. Okay? The third one feels like, I know it's not made by like Marvel Studios, right? Sure. Okay, so it's Sony. So, but it feels like nobody talked to each other. Like
People were just saying
they
lines.
never saw the other 2 movies and they made this one.
Yep.
And then they were just like, no, that's like good. That makes sense. And nobody in that boardroom was like,
but this happened.
Who are these people? Where are they coming from?
Exactly. That's why
it doesn't make sense. It was
that's
really
why before
weird.
when we were bringing it up, like, oh, is it a trilogy or not? Technically speaking, there's 3 of them. It's a trilogy of movies. From a story standpoint, there's no real connection. It's like an original, a sequel, and then a third movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the opening being null.
Yeah. Teasing a villain that doesn't show up.
Teasing a villain that's never showed up before. Or talking about it. Or the whole movie really focusing around a villain who's never been brought up before.
Yes.
And then it's also, I don't know, it's just completely, it feels really just disconnected from everything misguided. Else. It feels like Sony made those 2, and then this is just like
somebody else's
Marvel vomited on the ground and was like, this is what these people want. Let's, you want to eat it up, you slop, and then like we're like, yes, give me the Marvel slop. Like, I love it.
But it's so weird in the same hour and a half or hour 40, however long the fucking runtime is, because it felt too long. How in the same runtime you go, here we're teasing a new villain. The villain is super scary. Venom is dead. Tom Hardy is giving him a send off. Null has a teaser at the end of the movie. So you're trying to simultaneously.
Was it really a teaser though?
Well, that was the point.
Like, was it?
Yeah, he's talking about how he's coming back. How he's going to kill him.
Come back and kill her, but like,
yeah,
nothing said that he like. There was no
exactly.
But
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. It's there's teasing and setting up or talking about this villain that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Then you're trying to also pick up after a movie that came out like 3 or 4 years ago that people have almost forgotten because it underperformed compared to the first one. You're at the same time trying to make this a send off and cap off a story that really never picked up traction in the first place.
True.
And then still trying to wrap it around and be like, oh no, what do you mean, a purple alien that likes stones? That doesn't make any sense. Here's Null. He's from a PS2 game. Like,
he does look like he's from a PS2.
He look fucking cool. Though.
He looks like
I'd play that PS2 game.
Yeah, but he does look like a cutscene.
He does, yes. Especially
like
when it zooms
scary,
in on his face.
Like scary.
Which was also a whole other thing. They made sure to like hide his face behind his hair, and then they were like, "Look at my face," and you were like,
"Whoa, scary!"
2006 PS2 game.
Yes, it was scary.
Was it
you know that beach.
PS3?
That beach scene was also kind of scary. It was also like kind of the beach scene. They're like, oh, this is like huge spoilers, but like they're on the beach, and then they whatchamacallit, like it's like this fucking doctor, whoever she is, Dr. Payne, who's in this, who I assume they'll spell her name Payne to be edgy. But they're like introducing her backstory, and she's like struck by lightning on a beach, and like I don't know.
That's a whole other thing. They wait until the end for them to tease and show that there's like this other symbiote that makes her a speedster. She has all this lightning, and it's like a full circle moment because her brother was struck by lightning or whatever. But then you're still like, oh man, it's the end of Venom's story. These are Venom movies.
What if we focused on Venom?
What if instead of talking about things that were gonna come, we focused on what was happening and made it a better story instead of worrying about the next thing?
I think absolutely not, and we will not do that.
It's like
you're fired.
It's everything that Marvel does, but just like even when Marvel does it wrong, you're still like, all right, well, okay. But in this, they're like, there's no heft to the actual story, so there's no like, there's no little bit of tease, like pull me along to the next part of the story because you didn't do anything with the actual story.
Yeah,
you know, like even you take something like Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Mediocre Thor movie. A lot of people hate that movie. I think it's fine.
I slept through it.
So in
Thrice.
3 times, really? Nice. Because we watched it at home.
Oh, back asleep again.
Yep. Bad movie. So, but even in a movie like that, you have a story that can have fun moments in it, and there's a comprehensive through line, even though it's not really executed perfectly. And then in the end, they go, hey, look, man, I was a god in this movie. You thought I died. I'm alive. Now my son's going to enact revenge. And you go, all right, well, that kind of makes sense. Because he, like, Zeus was a big part. So now Hercules showing up, you're like, all right, logically speaking, it makes sense.
Sure.
And then in this, they're like, well, now Venom's dead. So the way that Null can break out of this thing is gone. But then they're like, but he'll be back.
But why do we give a fuck?
Why didn't he come in the first place?
Why do we give a fuck?
How can he be back if he was never here?
He was a bad villain.
He was cool.
But he is okay, it's just bad.
Yes.
Like, it's an okay movie, but if you want to look at it like this, it's not good.
It's
the villain is not compelling.
Yes.
The villain, I barely knew his name. He's not really a villain.
It was like a
they, them.
No, it was like a spider creature thing.
No.
You mean Null?
Null is the villain.
Can you really call Null the villain, though?
Yes, Null is the villain. These little spider creature things are just...
they work for him.
They work for him.
Yes.
So they're just like, they're acting... They wouldn't do what they're doing if it wasn't for him.
Yes.
He is a bad villain. He is a static, unchanging character, poorly written.
Yes.
Right? The whole thing is poorly written.
Looks cool.
Well, looks cool. But it just feels like the dialogue is poorly written.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get over that one scene where I guess he's the general, looks at this woman who's the doctor, and he's like, yeah, I just bring him down here. You research him, and I can't... Like, because they hadn't explained enough that she's the doctor that's doing the research.
As if the entire scene of her getting to her place of work, putting on a lab coat, talking about the texture of the lab coat, getting downstairs, seeing all of her other friends in lab coats, and then the one army guy walking in who's wearing the brightest green uniform you could see in the entire room. As if that was not enough, they had to go, I catch him, you experiment on him. That's what we do.
Yes.
Dude, thank you so much for explaining it. Thank you. I had no idea.
They basically, they're just, they're like, open your mouths and we're going to spoon feed this shit to you. You
open wide.
Dumb, stupid.
Stupid fuck. What about the other two? Right? So we talked about Let There Be Carnage a bit and how the villain, I think Carnage looks cool as shit.
Okay.
I think that because that's only the second time I've ever seen that movie.
Yeah.
On a second watch, it definitely is much better than I remember it being.
Okay.
And it's the perfect middle ground of banter between the two. Right? In Venom 1, it's very like Venom's like, oh, I'm a demon. I'm a demon who's gonna do this, and I'll kill you.
I'm gonna eat your butt.
Yeah, no, but yes.
He says that one time.
Does he?
No.
And then
and just lied again.
And then in the second one, it's less like I'm gonna eat your butt, and it's more like Eddie, we need to get food and chocolate, and I'm gonna eat your butt.
Yes, and chicken.
And chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken butt.
Chicken butt. No, he doesn't even say that. Not even once.
No.
Now you're lying. I don't know. I think the first one is fine. It feels disconnected again though. Like
Yes.
the whole scene where they're sitting like in the lab and they're doing everything feels disconnected from like the end of the movie. Like the whole lab thing, there's no flow
No.
into like lab stuff to
Getting
like
a symbiote from a comet, and now
symbiote.
we're here, and now look, Tom Hardy's there, and now
And
someone's dying, and now I'm yelling because I want my experiments to be done, and now Tom Hardy's breaking in, and now it's just a big CGI glob fest.
Yeah.
The end.
Essentially.
Venom.
Venom.
It's the best
That's
thing
the
to
best
come
part
out
of
of
the
that
movie.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you wholeheartedly.
100%. I remember
Yeah.
when that song came out, we were all, me, Matt, Brendan, our little friend group, we're talking about how bad that song was.
No.
Fucking great.
You're all wrong.
100%.
Amazing.
I agree entirely.
You know who should have directed these movies?
Ooh.
You know who I'm gonna say.
No.
You know.
You know the name of like 3 directors.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say my favorite one.
Who's your favorite one?
Michael Bay. The amount of U.S. military we had in there, we could have definitely.
Oh, 100%.
He would have loved it. Michael Bay would have loved the
That's
U.S.
probably where that budget
military.
comes from. Honestly,
US
because
military?
when you put the U.S. military and things like that, they give money.
Yes, I just need to know why this was again, like a Michael Bay movie. Why is this military propaganda?
I don't know.
Why is it but it is.
It is.
It is.
The government is very important, and you need to respect them because they protect you.
The government. And it's all about the government.
Yes.
It's just like government, like circle jerk movie.
Government circle Venom, the government circle jerk movie.
Yeah.
Venom,
It's so
government
sad.
circle jerk.
And it's weird because the rest of the movies aren't like that.
No, the other 2 actually have nothing to do with the military.
No, which makes me think World War III.
I know. Why you gotta? Why does that excite you? I'm confused.
I just gotta bring it to a dark place, you know.
Of course,
just real quick.
that's Timmy's whole job is
Yeah, just bring it to a
bringing my
dark
life
place.
to a dark place. All right.
Thanks.
So you want to rank them?
Yeah.
Ready? So now, hold on. Now I gotta sit up. So, gotta do it like a YouTuber. Venom movies ranked. Where's you put what's the worst one?
Tom Hardy's toes are being eaten.
Tom Hardy's toes are being sucked, not by me, by someone.
But it is by me.
What?
It is
So
by
wait,
me.
are you saying the third one's the worst one?
I don't know.
That's
The
what I'm
secret.
saying. I think
Maybe
the
I'll
third
tell you
one's the
later.
worst.
Think third's the worst?
Yeah.
I think that the second is the best. I think the second one is the best one. The
100%.
third one is this one. First one is
I would agree with that ranking.
you would?
I would.
Oh my god, do you think I'm right?
Yeah. That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what I was going to say.
Thank
I think
you.
the only thing that could bring me down, I think, might be like on another watch down the road, rewatching the third one and seeing like, does the banter stick out a bit more? Because that's the only reason we watch these movies. Like, is the funny moment of like Venom on a horse and a frog and a fish, like, is that enough for me to think it's better than the first one? Because they all also tonally feel super different.
They all do feel really different. Well,
The first 2 feel similar.
the third one is just sticking out like a sore thumb.
Exactly. So I think,
So
so to rank, Venom The Last Dance is number 3, Venom 2018 is number 2, and Let There Be Carnage is number 1.
yes.
Easy.
Easy
Peasy. Lemon, your mom.
Lemon, Tom Hardy's toes. Tom Hardy toes!
Is that where the product placement was? Was it
No.
in shoes?
No.
What was it?
The product placement. So you had the Ford truck first, for Dr. Payne's Ford truck.
Mm.
What else was there? There was the Kirkland almonds. That
Oh my god! I couldn't stop fucking
movie.
looking at them. There's a scene where they're driving in a car, and they have they're using like I don't want to say garbage, but it is like used plastic containers and things to like line their walls. And right behind the kid that's singing that the camera's constantly focusing on is a bag of Kirkland's signature cashews. And the entire time, I can't look at what's going on because I'm trying to look at the Kirkland signature cashews and trying to figure out if I'm right or not.
Yeah.
I 100% was.
Yeah. I had to go to the bathroom anyways during the movie. When I got up to go to the bathroom, I was so bothered by Tom Hardy's cauliflower ear, or maybe like the remnants of what his cauliflower ear was. Like it looks like it's being drained. That I had to go see if he wrestled or not. He does do jujitsu.
Oh yes, he was in a tournament not too long ago.
And something else. But he looks like he wrestled for like he looks like he's been punched several times.
Right in the face. Right in the mouth.
Maybe even had his toes.
Stop.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop. I don't know what's wrong with me.
No, you're fine.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so now we're in the second half of the episode, Timmi.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what we're doing here?
What do you mean?
So the Anything Bowl was gone for about 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
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 And we're bringing it back.
Back in black.
Back in black. So it's weird to be doing it again.
Yeah.
So basically the bowl went on hiatus for about 4 months because I got promoted. New position, thank you. New position, new building, new kind of commute, new adjustment. So initially it was just to take a break until like the beginning of September. And then Brendan and I got together and we weren't on the same page about it. Not
That's
like there's
okay.
Yeah, no, not there's an issue. You know, we still hang out with Brendan like a couple times a week and talk to Brendan.
Our child.
Yes, he's basically our little baby boy. But
sorry.
You know, the bowl is kind of like my love child.
Who? Yourself?
Myself, yeah.
Self-love child?
Self-love child. It's like a passion project.
Passion project?
Yes. Anytime that I feel like I want to be creative, this is the outlet that I think of first. And you and I have done a couple episodes of the bowl together. A long time ago. 2 years ago.
The dawn of man.
Before the dawn of man. And, you know, the thought was like, we joked about it for a while. Like, what if we just did it together instead? We had a good time when we were doing it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, every single time that Brendan and I recorded an episode, right behind the camera was you watching us anyway. You've been a part of everything from the start.
I've been watching in a distance. They don't see me.
Taking notes. I'm writing things down. Why are they saying this shit? Venom 2 is not the best movie.
Miguel and Brendan. One brain cell? No.
Stop drinking.
It's hurting you.
So, yeah. And then I think we're calling this episode 1 just because it's kind of like a season 2, not like a reboot, but just like a keep going but doing differently type of thing.
Yeah.
House. We're on our couch.
House.
Couch.
House couch.
You can see Karma, little cat, is in Timmy's frame. Sleeping like a baby.
You can't see
Beavis, but Beavis, the little puppy, is
she's sleeping. She's taking a nap right now. She's very sleepy.
Sleepy baby, little baby child.
And you can't see Opie, our other
cat, because she's under the couch.
She doesn't want to.
No, we don't have a cat.
The dog has a cat.
Yeah. He's not ours. What do you think?
They love each other. What do I think about what?
About the bowl.
I don't have any thoughts.
You don't have any thoughts?
Not even think at all.
Really?
I had one thought one time that was a lie.
Oh. Yeah. It was a lie?
No. I had one thought. I have had thoughts.
Oh, okay.
I had one thought. One time.
Single time?
So I lied to you when I said I've never had a thought.
Oh.
Yes.
Liar.
Having a good time.
What?
Having a good time.
You having a good time?
Yeah, I love to hear myself talk. Super exciting for me.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
You're an asshole.
I feel like the dynamic could also be really cute.
Yeah.
Of you and I doing this.
Well, we are getting married, honey.
We are getting married. I feel like doing a podcast is really like not.
It's fun.
It's exactly. It's fun. It's not like the big next step checklist.
No, it's fun.
It's just a good time.
It's just a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like if you do a crack off like
that's not the same thing.
Yeah, I gotta stop making that joke. People are gonna start taking it seriously.
Yeah, they're gonna think that you've done crack.
They're gonna start thinking I've done crack.
More than once,
several times, maybe off a stripper's ass.
Stop saying that, man.
I can't.
Oh, Timmi.
Yeah.
What else do you have to say?
Nothing.
What are your
Oh, we should stop speaking in general.
No, you can't do that though. It's a podcast.
You're
You have to
right.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let me look at our little.
We were
that's
talking
right.
about Agatha.
I know. That's what I was looking. I have a little timeline.
Spooky season.
Yes, it is spooky season.
It's
So
spooky time.
as the bowl continues to grow and change, and Timmy and I learn more about doing this way together. There's 2 sections to every episode. There's the bowl and the anything.
The anything.
We are now in the anything section.
Yeah.
So what are some things that we're watching outside of our main review? We're watching Agatha.
Agatha.
What do you think of Agatha?
What do I think of Agatha? Sorry. It's pretty cute.
I think it's surprisingly good for a show that we really didn't need or ask for.
Yes. I think, I feel like I need I can't separate the two. Like, because when I think of like a good show, I also think of like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So it's hard to rate that against
Agatha All Along.
Like the
20th Marvel TV show. So, okay, so then let me rephrase, right? I won't say it's a good TV show. I think by Marvel standards, it's definitely up there in terms of their TV. Right? It's pretty good. I think Catherine Hahn is great. I think the whole thing of being like, oh my God, look, he's actually one of the Maximoff twins. Just like in some other ones, someone else's body. It's a whole confusing thing. Like, I think that's really good. And I won't say it's run-of-the-mill Marvel, right? If you want to put it in tiers, like a 1 to 5, and 5 being like, oh my God, Endgame shit. I'll say it's like 3 or 4. It's not run-of-the-mill. It's good, but there's nothing that really blows me away about it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of fun there.
It's
compared
fun.
to like a real TV show or like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. It's Breaking Bad would be your 5. This would be like a 2.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't blow me away. I'm having fun and a good time, but
I feel like that's the purpose. I feel like it's not meant to blow you away, but it's also really hard to like compare, because you just want to say then just a good time.
Yeah.
Like you could watch it and you'd be like, wow, I had a good time. Or
that
you could
fun.
not watch it.
To watch the next one.
And then you could be like,
I'm not really missing
much. Like, I guess it's fine. Whatever. Yeah. It's not like if you don't watch, like, you know, I don't know. Is there any media that's really important to take in? I don't know.
I would say there's definitely media that's important to be able to take in, to learn lessons from.
Yeah, but I feel like it's
definitely not a Marvel TV show.
I feel like it's definitely not a Marvel TV show.
No. It's just like, and it's also in terms of the grand story of the MCU and things, it's Agatha's really not like the thing you have to watch.
No.
Like Agatha, Echo, What If, they're all things that you could just skip.
True.
Because then when you go to sit down for like the next Avengers movie in like 2026, which is fucking insane.
God, we'll be like 90 years old.
We'll be like 27.
We'll be like 432 years old.
You're right. My math is just off.
Yeah,
but when you go down to sit there, they're not going to be like, oh my God, look, it's Agatha all along. They're going to be like, it's Tony Stark's butthole.
Well,
he hates you 3000.
He hates you 3000. You know, it's so, but like, you know, honestly, the way like Marvel just loves to
pump shit out.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if they were like, no, you needed to watch it, all of Agatha all along, because, well, no, you probably wouldn't need to, but like, it's kind of like that one Halloween movie they made that one year.
Oh, yeah. Like,
where it's kind of
Werewolf by Night.
It's
just a good time.
It's like cute.
Werewolf by Night is also really good.
Yeah.
Like, Man-Thing is adorable.
I literally do not remember anything about that show.
He's the big swamp monster guy with the big red eyes, and then he puts his hand on someone's head and they burst into flames.
Oh, I want to be able to do that so bad.
Oh, that's a really good power to have. Speaking of a good TV, the show that we're currently embarking on that has nothing to do with the podcast is Dexter.
Yes.
And Dexter, fucking great. Like the 6th time I've watched this show, and I cannot wait. When I was in high school, it was like, well, you know how you have like comfort shows, right? Well, maybe not you, because before me, you didn't really watch a lot of TV. So comfort shows.
I know a comfort show. Tessa has comfort
yes,
shows.
It's just a show that you put on to whatever, and it shows it when you're like, all right, so I'm done with this show. Yeah, go back and watch that one.
Yeah.
So my comfort shows in high school were like How I Met Your Mother and Dexter. And then I finished one. If there wasn't like something I wanted to watch, I'd be like, yeah, I can start Dexter again. Why not? Something you put on, you could just be on your phone in the background, and then when it gets to important parts, you're like, oh shit, it's still really cool.
Yeah, Tessa used to watch Supernatural all the time.
15 seasons of that. Friends is great.
Friends is
Overrated.
Friends is a show that you could definitely put it on the TV
And not actually watch it.
I have no feelings about it. I just know you could put it on. Definitely a show you could
I could definitely tell you it's a show.
It's a show.
Definitely.
I know that. And yeah. No, I really like Dexter though. It's really cute.
Dexter's great.
It's really cute.
And Dexter, for some reason, is one of those shows that feel like it's been not forgotten, but like lost in the in the conversation of greatest shows of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one of those ones that's been forgotten and left alone and like never in the conversation. It's always like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, True Detective, things like that. And Dexter, for what it is never even mentioned.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that they're expanding on it, you know? It's like you have New Blood, the sequel series from a few years ago. You have Resurrection coming that's filming next year. You have Original Sin, the Dexter prequel that's coming out. It's just nice to see Dexter like slowly getting its flowers and like people going, "Oh my god, I remember the show. That was fucking cool." Even though it had a really, really, really shitty ending.
Doesn't? You know what other show has a really shitty ending that we haven't finished? Sopranos. That's one of those life-altering endings. One of those endings where you get up, you walk out of the house, leave your kids, family, go out for milk.
Beat up a homeless guy.
No.
Go out for milk.
You go out for milk.
Never come back.
Going out for milk means you start your own farm, raise your own cow. 15 years.
How do you get a cow from milk?
No, you raise your own cow. You go out.
Oh, that's how you get the milk?
Yes.
I thought my dumb ass is sitting here like, all right, so how does milk turn into cow? How do you reverse engineer the milking process? How do you go from cow to milk and then milk to cow? You're talking about I'm going out to get milk, meaning I'm going to create
milk.
The milk from scratch. She's dreaming.
And she loves her blanket that I can't work on right now because I'm sleeping on it.
She is sleeping on it. It really is the cutest.
It really is the cutest. It's so sad that.
What else are we watching right now? We are watching Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah.
Cute. Not a whole lot of heft or meaning to what is going on in it.
Just content.
Yeah. Just kind of like, oh my god, it's Goku and he's a kid.
Goku.
Again. You're gonna go Super Saiyan Goku.
He did.
Yeah, yay.
Good job, Goku.
Moving on.
Again.
What else are we watching? And Shrinking. Shrinking's the last thing we're watching right now.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Shrinking is a fucking great show. Jason Segel, Harrison Ford in something that isn't Star Wars or Indiana Jones, and he's having a good time.
Plot twist. It's both of those things.
What?
he's a Star Wars Indiana Jones therapist.
Go on.
And
I want to see where this goes. Go ahead.
That's how he therapizes people. You know, you come in there with daddy issues. You can't have daddy issues if you're
Indiana Jones.
You're running the Temple of Doom. How do you think about your daddy? You don't. And that's what Shrinking's about.
Yeah,
it's Indiana Jones.
And fucking.
And Tom Hardy's toes.
Nope, that's okay.
Yeah, so, no, there's a lot of Tom Hardy's toes in that.
With that, we're done.
Guys, this is the last episode you'll ever see.
And the last episode of Getting Bold. So, posting schedule. Our new posting schedule. Audio goes up on Monday.
Okay.
And then the video will go up on Tuesday.
Okay.
Simple video, nothing crazy. Shorts will go up every day, but that doesn't. If you're sitting around waiting for someone to post shorts at a specific time, you gotta like re-examine certain things about your life.
I mean, I have podcasts. I really like.
Oh yeah, but they're never like, all right, I'm posting a short at 5 p.m. and then you go, oh shit, it's 5 p.m.
I open my screen and I start screaming into the fucking abyss.
Give me the shot!
I need the content, man. Yeah.
So that is our posting schedule. What are we gonna cover next week? I have no idea.
Probably
Tom Hardy's toes.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
So sorry.
No, you're not. You want to sign us off, Timmy?
No, because I don't know how.
Want me to do it?
Yes.
Yes. All right. This has been the Anything Bore Anything Goes. My name's Miguel.
My name's Timmi.
And thank you for listening.
Listening.
Listening. Peeing. Thank you for peeing.
Thank you for peeing with us today.
Okay. Goodbye.